Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
And I'm Jay Washington.
And we're here to review Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 7, The Sange. And if you haven't seen this episode, you might want to come back later because there will be spoilers. Black Lightning and Thunder continue their fight against Looker, and Jefferson learns something about Peter Gamby. Jay, you're back again! Yay! It's been so long since we've been together.
I don't know why I did it. I just felt like I should do that.
Since when is the word S-A-N-G-E pronounced Sange?
Well, if you try to make it Creole, and then...
I think there's a good chance that that's actually true, because I know that Creole and Cajun French is different than regular French.
Yes, it is.
Not regular French, Canadian French or French, Parisian French.
Yes.
But that really took me for a trip when I saw how you spelled the title of this episode, because I think that word is pronounced sang. And that's my rant about linguistics over for this episode. Can we talk about Black Lightning got a costume upgrade and how cool it was to see that in the first scene of this episode?
Because we've been wondering what type of upgrades would he have going into season 2, of course, because in all
he's still got the day glow.
He still's got the LED chest plates, and again, it's like this is different things that are happening, and you're like, okay, how does this work? Mm-hmm. And then camouflage mode. Well, excuse me?
Great.
Like you couldn't been using this?
I think we're going to see an episode in the future where there's going to be a complete camouflage mode fight, and it's going to be delightful to watch the stunt people just throw themselves around, because there's no way that anyone is on set smacking them around. I can't wait to see more of it, and it's such a simple effect of just not having anyone show up.
Yeah, just don't even do it. And then just know when you need to finally put them into place and have it just focus in on them, and it was a great effect.
And I thought the opening fight was really, really great. It led right into Jefferson being held captive completely shirtless, which I continue to advocate for as a choice in the Black Lightning costume department, which then leads right into a deeply racist scene from a very sweet little girl, which...
Well, we didn't expect that in the previous episode, did we?
It's funny because she's problematic in her original... Looker, obviously,
yes.
There's...
A lot of undertones.
The clans, there's a lot of, but to have it out in the open, I think continues the trend that we have on Black Lightning of making bold choices, of taking on these big social issues, seeing the Confederate flag, calling it out. That's obviously something that is being used in modern society by a very select group of people that we won't mention by name because they don't deserve it. And I think to go ahead and address that in the show and in the show's fictional universe, and to have her make the speech of like, well, I can't put... I'm a white and I'm proud on my, and I was like, I'm so embarrassed as a white person that people believe that.
You know what? And we do hear this every day, and we see it now. It's become all too common and a regular thing. But that's the thing about, like you just said, with Black Lightning, they don't shy away from it.
Yeah.
There are other shows that will beat you over the head with things. Supergirl. Because we're doing the whole thing. Also, don't forget about the kids in the pods, which are the government took your children away.
Yeah.
So that's still a thing that's happening, and you don't get beat over the head with it. This is what's happening with the whole you're a racist. This is what's happening, and then we acknowledge it, we establish it, we go forward. Which that's what I loved.
Yeah.
We don't have to say, yeah, I'm a racist, and you don't like black people, or I don't like white people. This thing, we didn't have to do that with the show. It never does that in Black Lightning.
Well, the writing is so good, and it's so subtle, episode to episode. So having the revelation about her racism revealed in that way was clever, as opposed to her just coming out and being like, yeah, I'm racist and I hate black people. And then in the same scene to have Jefferson charge back up, because at the end of last episode, we know he's out of charge. They're electrocuting him is genius. And it's so subtle, and it's not obvious, but I feel like if this were a different show, and if this were more like some of the other shows, we wouldn't have gotten that. It would have been him smashing a light bulb or something like that, which we actually thought was...
That's what I thought, because I was like, okay, they put him in a basement. He can draw electricity from anywhere. So I was like, he's going to take it out the lights. And then when they show him put up on a spring mattress, on a box spring basically, without the mattress, and electrocute him, I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
So good. And him playing possum was so good. That low laugh.
When he hit him with the whole, hey, look. Yeah. My powers don't come from this suit. Thanks for the recharge, though.
Although hysterically after the fight, Jay was like, he got dressed very fast.
So, can we talk about that for a second
For
before
a
we
character with no super speed.
For a character that is a middle-aged black man who at times looked like it hurts to walk, right? He just got to charge up. He had to fight two dudes, which he was kind of slow on for a second. Let's not forget.
He did good, though.
He did good. Went and grabbed, looked at the suit and was like, yep, and we're in it. For real? For real?
Well, he knew he was going to go touch a baby. And
Look,
he, didn't.
Look, Cress, listen here, homie. I understand we've had the discussion about the suit. But hey, bruh, you should have had them cut to another scene. Then you come back and you in a suit.
It was... I don't know who edited this episode. I'm sorry.
It's just hilarious to me. It's just
but
like...
the musical theater quick change. I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about it. It was very funny.
He might as well did the Wonder Woman spin around the suit and just like Black Lightning. I don't know.
Would have loved it. Someone please make that and send it to us at Ashley B. Robinson at Mr. J. Washington on Twitter. Him sneaking through the rest of the house looking for the crying baby, I thought was really wonderfully shot. There's, they hold the camera on a mirror for quite a while, and he comes around the corner, going up the steps, and I thought that was really cool. The cutest baby of all time for him to go and rescue, and IMDb at the time of this recording hasn't updated who directed this episode. I'm convinced it must have been a lady because we got shirtless Cress Williams, and we got Black Lightning holding the baby. And then punching a bad guy while he's holding a baby. This is everything the female viewership wants.
Wait, and then to say, yes, he was a bad man.
Oh my God, it was so great.
And so that is amazing. The way they shot it. And then him walking through the woods again with the baby with one arm. Mm-hmm. He finally calls Anissa back and lets her know he has the baby. He's in Freeland.
He deeply skips over all of what happened, though. He's like, I needed to juice up. And,
I just need to charge him. Look, I'm juiced up. I'm good.
I wasn't tortured by an evil white lady. What are you talking about?
And I love how they do. And then I was like, I even brought it up to you. I was like, isn't he going to fly away? Is he? Because he can fly away now that he's charged up. But I was like, maybe he can't do it because he has the baby in one arm and he needs both hands. But then he finally decides to just take off. And I was like, okay. Alrighty.
I'm really looking forward to the Black Lightning branded, what do you call those things you put a baby in?
Oh, the...
Bjorns.
It's called a Bjorn?
A baby Bjorn.
Okay, I just called it a holder. And I'm a dad. It's a holder.
I think...
I am a grown black man. I'm like, can I get a baby Bjorn?
I think...
Bjorn?
I think Bjorn is the brand that sells them. Because, for a long time it was just a scarf or a piece of clothing. And I don't know if we're allowed to call them papooses anymore, so we call them Bjorns.
Can I get a Bjorn, y'all? Get that silver and black one.
Someone please paint a baby Bjorn and send it to our P.O. box, and Jay will wear it on the show. I'm gonna say that right now. The best part about him flying away with the baby, though, he lands at Henderson's house to dump the baby, and we get some of the best Damon Gupton reactions. I will say it every time he shows up. He's a goddamn treasure. We're lucky to have him.
Wait, when the door opened, he was like, "Hey man, did I wake you? What you know what time it is?
You woke me." Because again, a different show, he'd be like, "No, it's fine. What do you need?"
Yeah, and like, that's how you get.
It's obviously 3 or 4 in the morning.
And that's how you're supposed to get real life reactions to that. Mm-hmm. And even when he was like, "Is that a baby?" I always I love it and hate it at the same time. When you got to be like, Is that a living human? Like like it's something else. Like is
that a tiny human being? No, it's a lizard.
I would have loved for Henderson to actually. I would have loved if in the script he was like, "Hey man, you got babies on the side? You ain't telling nobody."
He should have just been like, "I'm not taking this baby," and like close the door. And Jeff's like, I'm just gonna put it back in the Bjorn, and
then it becomes.
Fly away.
Then this whole episode becomes a comedy because now we get Black Lightning and his babysitting tales.
I would watch it. 10 out of 10. I will watch the CW Direct animated series. You're welcome. You can hire Jay and I to write it.
Damn right.
At any time. We also get the continuation of the Khalil and Tobias storyline where he talks to Jennifer, he tries to convince the Reverend to leave. The Reverend doesn't leave. Tobias is chasing him. But more importantly, Jennifer gets to be a hero. Finally.
And I think she's accepted what she didn't want to be in. Mm-hmm. But realizing her feelings for Khalil forced her hand, for lack of better words.
Which, by the way, we predicted like 3 episodes ago.
We surely did.
You're welcome.
And she has control of it.
Mm-hmm. In a cool way.
She has control of it, She's sucking out the juice in places or making them overload. And I think Khalil needs to realize your phone is a tracker, homie. You might want to
Yeah, get you a flip phone.
Or he put a tracker in his bag. If it's not his phone, it's something in him.
Yeah, because there is that's interesting. That's a total evil. That's like a Doc Ock thing to do, right? So like implant something in Peter Parker's body. Oh, and then he's gonna have to get rid of it, and he's gonna have to choose to be paralyzed and be with Jen. I would love that. That'd be great.
Or he could have, or they could try. This is something that could happen. This is my brain thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You could have Jennifer try to short circuit it.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
You know, it's like, look, just short it out. And then he's like, well, what's the risk? Look, whatever it takes to have him not be able to follow me.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and she wouldn't want to do it because she might hurt him. But shout out to the lighting department, because when we get the reveal of Jennifer's, I guess, flashlight.
The fireflies.
Torch, just the lighting on the two of them and the purple, yellow complimentary. It was so stunning. Like, this is such a beautiful episode. And Black Lightning is a very good looking show. It's, I'll say, the best CW show aesthetically. And it was, that shot was so stunning. And even if I have mixed feelings about Jennifer getting back with Khalil, that moment made me want it.
I also, I like those shots. I like all that. Mm-hmm. Another thing that was shot well, directed well, and choreographed phenomenally was the fight with Anissa and Looker.
Oh,
that fight. These 2 episodes, the past 2 episodes, this and the previous week, the fights have been so on point. Mm-hmm. And it's like they're stepping up the choreography on it. Of course, second season, you do a little bit more, you enhance it more, and they're giving more. And that fight with Anissa and Looker, you saw Anissa doing a lot of things you've never really seen her do.
Mm-hmm. And Looker's stunt double, because there was a lot of hair going on, so it must have been a stunt double. Mm-hmm. Her fighting style was very kick heavy, and I think that's because they had her in the big skirt. But like, they were beautiful to watch fighting each other.
It was the way it was just the way it was done. Mm-hmm. Because of course that Anissa has a stunt double as well.
Yes.
And if you pay attention, if I'm one of those people that'll try to look at things with a close eye, you can actually see parts where you can see it's the stunt double.
Yeah.
You can see it. Mm-hmm. You can see it, but that's only if you're focusing on it, and that's just nitpicking things. And
we look for it because it's fun.
It's fun.
We're interested in
It's fun.
Yeah.
But it's very well choreographed, and the way the fight ended, because then the Sange come in to try to help.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, here comes Black Lightning helping out.
It was great.
And then, well, the Looker story is basically done. Cause
unless we're gonna put her in a pod or something.
When you get impaled,
This is comic books, Jay.
You get impaled?
Anything can happen. She's classically an outsider. She's dead. She's not coming back.
She's dead. She's all the way dead.
Spoilers for anyone who didn't watch this episode.
Why would they be watching if they didn't watch it?
You know what? I'm convinced people do watch these reviews because they want to know, but they don't watch the episode.
Okay.
Because we mostly recap. I loved at the end of the fight when Jennifer, I think it's a great piece of writing, Anissa explained theta waves and how scientifically Looker's powers could actually work. Like,
in real life.
Some high-level geek shit. And I was so into it. And, like, I love it when you can put real-world science in science fiction. And the fact that Jefferson's like, I will literally pay you to stop talking.
I will pay you to stop talking.
Was so funny. And it was like a great capper because then you didn't let the discussion get too far and too crazy. But just the fact that they went there, I loved. Like, my geek of geek hearts exploded in that moment. It grew 3 sizes
She was like, these theta waves, there's theories, and he was just looking like, what for real? We're going to do now? Just can't stop?
Yeah. Now let's talk about the last scene, the real heartbreaker of this episode. Jefferson and Gammy got reunited! Just like we predicted last episode. Wait, what?
I'd like to say I wrote my notes on this. And my notes for the episode, you probably can't see it, just say, more damn tears. That's all it says. I just was like, this is not going to be cool. This is not going to be cool. Because it's just like, oh.
Well, the Jefferson speech of, I don't know whether to hit you or hug you, like, that's very classic. That's very tropey. But just, Crass hugs him with such force that, like, you
couldn't help
it.
And the fact that Gabby said, if you got to hit me, then if you got to slug off me, just do it. Because it's like, I understand. And then when he was like, I tried to protect your family, and I didn't want anybody in trouble, he was like, do you not get it? You are my family. That was when it just, this eye right here started leaking.
It was just twitching.
Just leaking the tears. It's beautiful because we, like we said before, you said, I think it was in the previous episode, we got it out the way. We know Gabby dies. We got it out the way. And now we have him officially back, but we're going to see him in a different capacity. he's going to be that Oracle that they referenced Perina with.
Yes, they did.
He's going to be that Oracle type where he's going to definitely be behind the scenes now because, again, Gamby died. Gamby had a funeral. The community knows about the loss of Peter Gamby.
Everyone's, the ASA and co are after him.
People are after him.
Yeah.
So now he does everything. The shop is going to be the interesting question because that's where all the equipment is. That's where the suits are. So do they move going forward? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, or does Jeff take over? Does he work there and then leave Garfield because he's not the principal? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, again, open-ended, like we said with the previous episode, but it works.
I think so. Well, there's more closure here because we at least wrapped up the villain storyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like that immediate part of your brain that's like, okay, we have closure to the A plot, so now we can move on to this story building that's going to feed the rest of the season.
We also have to talk about one thing, and the Grace Choi Anissa.
Oh yeah, and Watching Girlfriends, which Jay shouted out.
Watching Girlfriends, which is again shouts to Mara Brockakil and Salim who created that amazing show. But Grace's powers.
We have to see them in full force, like in the next 2 or 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, because we have to know exactly, are they keeping it towards the comic book? Is she a shapeshifter? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Because we know that clearly it's stress triggered, as most of them are, but it's going to be interesting to see where this goes further. I don't want this to go all the way to the end of the season.
I would agree.
Where we find, because they have short seasons. They only got 16 episodes.
Yep.
So I don't want us to go all the way to the end of the season where we're finally seeing what happens with her at the same time Jennifer potentially being in a suit.
Yep.
You know, and even something with Tobias. I think that is when we get cluttered.
I would agree.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah. And we had fat episodes toward the end of last season. That is sort of bound to happen.
Yes.
But I would love it. I would love to see Grace really come into her own because she's interesting and she's a character we've been teased with for a long time. So it was nice to see her, but I always want more. Give me more.
And I think that the common thing behind that, between what we'll hear from a lot of our friends who work on the show, is just wait. And I hate hearing those words at times.
That's like I'll tell you when you're older.
You know what? Listen, this will be a funny story. When you're older, you can tell your kids.
But what Jay can tell you right now is his rating for this episode. So on a scale of 1 to 5.
She good.
Thank you.
She good.
It's like it's a job. Jay, are we gonna keep the 5 out of 5 streak going this week?
I like the look, the feel, the way the show moved. To close the, not even villain of the week, this small portion that we need to close up, but still move forward because technically, Looker was after the twins. The twins are still a thing.
Yeah, baby.
So, and the story, again, the Gamby heartstrings, the Anissa theta waves, the Jennifer Khalil, even a little more heartstrings. I still got to give it a 5 out of 5. I love everything they do. All these things I brought up, they all move. Nothing is stagnant. Nothing gets old where you're like, come on.
Yeah.
It all keeps moving forward.
And I thought last episode was really good. I thought this episode was better.
Yes.
And if only for thank you, Black Lightning, for showing us that men can have feelings and it can be healthy and we need more of that in media. You can't give it anything less than a 5 out of 5.
Well, you know what? As a grown man, I cry sometimes. So... and I openly admit this. Hennessy Prince William, who was a 6'6" black man, in tears.
Like, Black Lightning is the hero liberals want. Someone can put that on a t-shirt. You're welcome to have that.
That's funny.
If you want to share your emotions with Jay, tell them where they can do that.
On Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. JAY Washington. 80 on YouTube, the Mad Titan Podcast, Google, iTunes, Spotify. Get caught up in everything in the Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes, TV and film.
And continue to donate to the Jawiin Comic Drive for service members. This is the last week that you can donate to the real heroes who are protecting us overseas, recovering in hospitals all over the world, and to their family here at home. Be a hero, a geeky hero to them for the holidays. Support us directly at patreon.com/Jawiin. Come join us in the Hall of Justice. Be a super friend. Jay's going to come back and review more Black Lightning with me.